Do you have any news regarding the State Department pilot program that will allow certain H&L visa holders to renew their visa stamp in the United States rather than abroad?
So what I would say is, individuals who are in the U.S., if they do travel outside, there is a sort of a requirement to get a travel endorsement at the embassy or consulate abroad. Outside of Canadian citizens, citizens of everywhere else in the world will be required to obtain valid visa stamps in whatever category that folks are coming in. And I think in the last couple of years, the challenges with travel bans and consulate closures due to COVID has been really, really challenging on a lot of companies and families, because if embassies were closed, then it would be challenging to obtain visa stamps abroad. And so one of the, proposals that we're seeing with the Department of State is this demand for, talent and having them come into the US and be able to travel easily. So one way that the Department of State is now exploring is, look, the folks that are in the US who've previously obtained visas are very low risk. And so if we can find a way to clear out our backlogs and help kind of move the needle with these folks and get them visas to help them, travel and live their lives freely, we'll try to do what we can. So I think reinstating what we call the visa renewal process in the US is not new. It's something that they did years and years ago. So when Addie and I first started practicing many, many moons ago, they still had this process. What this process was folks would be able to take their passports, submit their documents to the Department of State. 4 to 6 weeks later, we would get the visa stamp back in the passport for our clients. And so, Department of State is now foreseeing something similar to that, and they're planning on doing a stateside program and a pilot program at that, seeing whether or not it's first extended to, I think, H's and L's. And if it does really well, who knows, they could probably expand it out to other visa categories. That Bloomberg article, right after it was published, we got tons of emails and calls from clients saying, hey, can I submit my passport to the Department of State tomorrow? I don't want to travel. I want to get my visa stamp before I come back in. But we were like, it's great news. We just need to wait. And at the BAM conference last week, there was a panel. It was called Washington on the West Coast. And Julie Stuft, who is the Deputy Assistant Secretary from the Consular Services Office, she actually attended. She spoke on that panel and confirmed that very much so they're moving forward with the program. When we sort of pushed her on whether or not she could confirm a date, they said that they couldn't confirm an actual date when they would roll out with the program, but very much so that they're working towards it on the back end. They want to ensure a successful program, so they don't want to prematurely give you a date where it's not going to be rolled out yet. But this is certainly a situation that we're going to be monitoring very closely, because I know many of our clients and many of you probably on the call would be very interested in what this means. And I think it affords employees and companies a chance to plan ahead. So if you know that you can apply for your visa stamp, not have to book anything, have a visa in hand that's valid, that it doesn't expire, then you can plan your trip, go enjoy your family, enjoy your vacation, and then be able to fly back and not have any of those considerations and concerns about being stuck abroad. That's going to be huge for a lot of employees, and just certainty for companies and planning around staffing for employees and projects, and not having employees kind of stuck outside the US. So this is going to be a huge, huge advantage, and we're sort of excited to see where that goes. But as of now, we still don't have a date, but we're excited to see what this means for a lot of folks moving forward.